smelling right, luscious lips, dancing as you walk away.
Hey, what's going on? Hopefully your Christmas was good. It's been a couple days. Hopefully everybody got a chance to relax. You didn't do too much after Christmas shopping. We know how that can get sometimes. But we in here with another episode of the Big D Show. Divorce News Daily. We're going to get into some stories today and just chat it up a little bit. Hopefully everybody is feeling good. And, if you're going through a divorce and you're down and out and things is happening, man, don't worry about it. It's going to get better. That's what this channel is all about. We're here to talk to you, give you some ideas, give you advice, sometimes give you, things to think about, food for thought. So let's jump right in here and see what we got going on. I got my handy dandy cell phone here. We're going to go through this and see what stories I kind of round up with in the last couple of days. So this first one's a little doozy. It's probably something a lot of men go through, but y'all let me know what y'all think. It's entitled Sex Drive, and it's in the Reddit Ask Men Advice. This story is as old as dirt, but I'm at a loss. I'm a male, 41, married to a female, 43, for 7 years now with 2 children. She's gradually losing all interest in sex. She would bristle if I try to initiate something at night, though once in a while she will get horny and will enjoy it and say it turned out better than she thought. I keep trying though, but for the last year or so, I'm gradually feeling bad with the rejection. I love her and we talk openly about things, but this is not a thing to be solved with talk. Yeah, he's right. You need to work the big D. That's something ain't right. But so you know what I'm saying? He's saying, but this is not a thing to be solved with talk. She has low libido and is always stressed with chores, plans, ideas on Pinterest, while I want the fundamental thing more and often. How do married men of the world handle this? Hoping too much for a magic trick, but I don't want to give up on the sex so soon. So this is a problem, man. You're going to face this at some point in time. Everybody's libido is not the same. Everybody's not going to want it at the same pace, especially if you got a lot of things going on. Sounds like she has a lot on her plate. She's probably working. She's maybe a little bit stressed. She's working with the kids. And so you can't expect it like when you was young, in your 20s or whatever, you didn't have kids and all that kind of thing or whatever. But at the same time, maybe she's just not interested in him. So this is what one of the responses, okay, turn up 448, kind of turned it up a little bit. He said, she doesn't have low libido. She has low libido for you. 50% of women aren't attracted to their partner after 10 years. That's kind of interesting stat. I don't know where you got that from, but that's interesting. Because honestly, very few men actually physically turn women on. I don't really know about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's up to men to turn women on. I think it's kind of like a chemical reaction that they have. And when they see a man they like, they do the same thing we do. Like, I think they kind of get it, they get it in their mind what they want and then they do it. So I think one thing that we got to recognize about people and about women psychologically is like, you got to make it feel like it was their idea. I think that's how you combat that. If it doesn't feel like it's their idea, they're not going to be too invested in it, right? So with pretty much anything, if you're trying to sell a person on something or you're trying to get them to do something that you need them to do or you want them to do, then the idea is to make it feel like it benefits them and that they're the ones who were the ones who made the decision to go, let's go ahead and do this. So he's going to have to figure out a way to kind of make it so that she's asking him. He might need to start wearing some new cologne. He might need to start dressing a little bit. He might need to start hitting the gym a little bit. I don't know, they ain't got no pictures of him or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, he might need to jump out there and see what he can do to start improving himself. And when he start moving and shaking a certain way, she might just look at him a little different, be like, oh, wait, hold up. Like, I don't know if I really want somebody else to jump in there and get what I got already, you know what I'm saying? So she might feel like she about to miss out on something. And if she don't, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He's going to have to figure that out, but a lot of men get divorced because the woman loses interest and they're not doing the do no more and just becomes a problem. So shout out to him. Hopefully he can work that out. Hopefully he find a way to get it together. It ain't easy, you know what I'm saying? Because you get a lot of temptation out here. You get, he can see all the Instagram models and the BBLs and all that. He see all that. So she better tighten up and act right. All right, so let's get into something from the other side, from the woman's side. This is in the divorce channel on Reddit. I honestly regret marrying my husband. That's how she opened it. We have been married for months, but I feel like I need to divorce him. To give you context, my husband promised me that he will prioritize me after we got married, but it did not happen. This Christmas, he went to his mom's house and spent the Christmas there, leaving me alone. Sound like he tired of your, what? He fed up. He said, yo, you finna do this on your own. This is where I'm going. If you ain't going, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And he said that he still wanted to spend important occasions with his family. He failed to realize that I am his family now. Other than that, whenever I needed him, he's not around. I just don't feel like I'm family to him, and I feel like I'm just wasting my time. We got married in the U.S., but both non-U.S. citizens, with a question mark. So that's why there's some typos and stuff in here, because they're not U.S. citizens. So is it still possible to file a divorce in the U.S.? And how should I do that? So I don't know where they living at. I don't know where they living at or whatever, but yeah, it's always possible to file a divorce in the U.S. We know that, that's why this channel exists, because they're doing it all the time. So you probably got to go over there and handle that if that's what you want to handle. But it sounds like she needs some time, she needs some attention. Don't look like she really seeking it somewhere else. Look like she trying to seek it from her man. But her man is probably seeing some things from her that probably turned him off. That's the only thing I could think is like maybe he saw a couple of things, or she's treating him a certain kind of way when he is around her, where he don't want to be around her, or he prefer to be around his, his family or whatever like that more than he prefer to be around her. Maybe he wanted her to join him, but maybe the family kind of telling him like, yo, we don't really like her like that, so don't bring her around here. You know what I'm saying? If you can leave her home, leave her home. That's foul, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So she wanted a divorce. She just wants to know if it's possible or whatever. Is that something to get divorced over? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you left out, sometimes you feel like you can't keep going with a person. So, she's probably going to end up going down that path because she's already thinking about it. So, it don't sound like he really probably even would care. He already leaving her home on Christmas. So it is what it is at this point. Yo, sorry to interrupt the show. Not really, though, because I got to make this quick announcement for you. If you like what you're seeing and you like the show, give me a like and a subscribe. I'm trying to get to a 0.5 M. Get this crypto up, get this monetization up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna duck off somewhere quiet. This world a little crazy right now. So, all right. So the next story here is a little more serious. Fluid Translator 160 in the divorced men Reddit, and he's talking about his Christmas without his kids. So when we get divorced and these things happen, it's not just us that go through it, it's the kids go through it too. But let's see how he's feeling and see what he got to say about it. He says, I guess I'm just getting on here for any moral support at this point. As what the title states above, I don't have my children for Christmas, and our divorce started in November. I had to drop the kids off this morning at 8, and I'm devastated right now. Our older child woke up. He was 4 years old, wanted to play with his toys. I got him yesterday since we did Christmas yesterday, and it broke my heart that I had to tell him we had to get in the car and go to their mom's. Now I'm sitting at home all alone with a roller coaster of emotions. I have one family even today, but not even sure if everyone knows of the situation. And with me not showing up with the kids or ex, I know questions will be asked. And right now, emotionally, I would break down. I honestly want to just be alone, but at the same time, I know it's probably not the healthiest thing. It's probably not the healthiest thing to do, I think he meant. I just can't face it. So, I mean, we're talking about, having to kind of tear your kids away from their new toys. That's hard. He's 4 years old. The kid's 4 years old. So, of course he wants to play with his new toys. And now you got to like tear him away from that to go take him to his mom's house, which, cool. He's got to spend time with his mom too on Christmas or whatever. You guys had a Christmas the one day, they have it the next or whatever. It's really not the ideal situation, so I can understand like how he's feeling about it. Um, I don't think you should isolate though. I think you really have to kind of go face it. If you got your family asking questions or whatever, it's probably better that you just tell them. Don't try to take it on your own shoulders. I think men as a whole, we just try to internalize things. We put that on our backs, and we just carry it. And that seems like that's what's always been expected of us. But things like this channel is here to teach us that maybe that's not the way. We can talk about it. We can talk about how we feel. A lot of men don't feel like nobody cares about how we actually feel about something. It's like they care if we got a solution to our problems and if we could fix it, but they don't really care how we feel as we go through it. So, having some outlet to kind of talk about it is good. That's what we try to do here on the channel. But, it's a sad situation, you know what I'm saying? So we got another one here too, kind of the same thing. In the divorce Reddit, Dr. Zayas 1980 says, first Christmas alone since my wife left 3 weeks ago. My wife of 20 years left me on December 3rd. It's been a hard month for me. I don't really have family other than my sister. Our parents died years ago. I was doing okay managing. I was depressed, but I was getting by. But last night on Christmas Eve, it hit me hard. Not having her or her family with me devastated me, and I ended up going to bed around 7 p.m. The pain of being awake was too much. Today I feel okay, still depressed and sad, but able to wake up and face another day. I refuse to let it take me. While I knew the holidays would hit hard, I didn't know they would hit this hard. Looking forward to the holidays being over so I can continue my healing process. I don't expect responses. I just wanted to say this all out loud as it helps me. I want to get better, but it's so hard because of the season and it's such a fresh wound. So I get it, man. You've been down with this chick for 20 years, man. And, it's what you kind of grow together. I was down with my ex for 15 years together, 15 years living together, 1 year separated or whatever. And it's like you kind of get used to the activities together. You spent time together and, you've had all your Christmases together for the last 20 years and all that joy that you probably used to feel, or at least the satisfaction of like, hey, I got her the gift that she wanted. I was able to work hard this year and get what my family needed or whatever. All of that, kind of went out the window with her splitting and separating from you and moving on. It's a tough thing, man, especially with the holidays, because this is family time. This is time when we're supposed to be together. And if he's living in the U.S., you know how it is. We work, man. We working all the time. We got obligations and things to do. And so we kind of get caught in a situation where, we can't spend time with the family like that. So when these holidays come around, that's what we really need, and as a man, it's like, this is my time to finally like let it all go. I don't got to think about work. I could just kind of be with my family and, be with the wife or whatever like that, show her some attention and some love or whatever. The secular world kind of pull you away from that, and he's getting up there. He's been in this 20 years. So now what are you going to do? You got to be out there looking for, another companion or somebody at probably his age. If he started with her at 20, even on the low end, he's already 40. So it's, and I'm guessing just by the way he writes and all that kind of stuff, he's probably older now. He's probably in his 50s or something. So it ain't easy out here for us older guys. It ain't easy out here trying to find somebody new. So, shout out to him. Hopefully, I know it's fresh or whatever like that. Keep talking about it. Seek the help. Seek whatever, whatever people in your life that you can holler at, your friends, If you got a close friend or whatever, talk to your buddy about it. You got somebody, maybe your mom is still around, maybe your pops is still around, or uncles, or somebody that you can kind of like let them know, what the situation is. I mean, one of the things is, when we get divorced and things happen or we had that breakup, it's such a jarring event for us that we kind of go overboard sometimes, and we kind of, do too much when we talking to people, and maybe we're putting it in their world and they don't really want it in their world like that. So you got to have sense for that too. Like, how vested is this person really in listening to me, and how much help are they really willing to give? Don't overwhelm them. I guess the thing is not to overwhelm people, but at the same time, don't keep it all bottled up. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he can, get through this here, and maybe she comes back. If she don't come back, then you just got to find a way to cope. And, it's not going to be an easy thing, but these holidays, man, it just brings out of us. It brings out of us. Okay, so we got one last one for you here today. This one's interesting, in the Divorced Men Reddit as well. Hey guys, been lurking in here since we separated on September 20th. Sat here watching other men go through this, or maybe sitting here watching other men go through this has been a massive part of my getting through. Thank you all. Okay, so that's good, right? He's involved in the community or whatever, watching other men go through it. Sometimes we got to see that we're not the only ones, right? Me and now my ex, together 12 years, 2 kids, 7 male, 10 female, and 1 from her previous relationship, 18, I raised as my own for 12 years. So he got together with her when her previous child from a previous arrangement was 6. So, he kind of stepped his foot out there, had a couple of kids with her too, you know what I'm saying? He's 39 years old, she's 38. We are engaged, but never married. But short of an expensive party, we pretty much were. So outside of, doing the actual marriage celebration, they pretty much consider themselves married, right? So things have been going south for years, probably 5 or 6 years. We were totally bipolar, 3 months all over each other, best sex ever, total communication and wholeness, then 3 months stonewalling, gaslighting, etc. I was the main breadwinner for a good 4 years, great business, and she couldn't get work because of a legal situation. So I supported her in many schemes she tried to launch. I didn't notice because in hindsight, I was so indoctrinated to her flame, but she'd actively put me down in front of people. That's a red flag right there. Telling everyone I had self-worth and value issues, childhood traumas. I was a narcissist. There's that word again. Yet I just swallowed it and kept quiet, probably out of fear of losing her. Her mom unalived herself when the ex was 7, and this has a deep, cruel underlying manifestation in her, even though she claims she's processed it. That's telling you a lot right there. At one point, she professed, "I've done the work. It's you who needs to catch up." The last couple of years were particularly toxic. She glassed me in the face, leaving a scar on my cheek. Again, I didn't go to the police to keep the peace and family going. I was let down, no threat to anyone. She was drunk and snarling beast. I'm gonna cut it off right there because this is a long one, but it's a lot to unpack right here. 5 or 6 years, he's saying I know this was going south for the last 5 or 6 years. So that means you got time to kind of process okay, this is not going right. So what do you guys think? You think that you should really try to stay and stick it out through the 5 or 6 years of, seeing these things happening and feeling uncomfortable in your relationship and feeling like this is not gonna work out for us or whatever? You think that, how much time is too much? I think 5 or 6 years is kind of a long time to feel like, you're going downhill, right? And but like he said, she's kind of giving him that hope a little bit because she's sleeping with him, and then boom, for 3 months the sex is real good and all that, and the big D is working and all that, but then all of a sudden, another couple months go by and she's been cold and distant and calling him narcissist and all that. You can't have somebody who's up and down like that. Relationships have up and downs, but you don't want those kind of swings, right? I think those swings are hard because it keeps drawing you back into a situation that you probably really should leave or get some therapy for, or especially when he's talking about she glassed him in the face. You know what I'm saying? Cut his face, and like he got to wear this scar for the rest of his life or whatever. To me, once it gets to a physical situation like that, you really got to cut it off. Especially as a man, you got to kind of like dead that and cut it off, because you putting your freedom in jeopardy. Because he didn't do nothing to her, he didn't even call the police on her or whatever like that. But if she cut your face, somebody got to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? For me, like I gotta put my foot down at that or whatever like that. Like you gotta wear this out in public in front of everybody. You gotta go in business meetings and all that kind of stuff with a cut on your face. You might be looking like Scarface. You know what I mean? Like, unless you in that kind of business, that probably not the best thing or whatever. So she could really alter your financial picture and everything just by cutting you in the face. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I get it. They blame it on alcohol and and being drunk and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like nobody really don't be that drunk to the point where, I mean, if you get drunk to the point where you cheating, or you get drunk to the point that you fighting with somebody or whatever, I don't really feel like you that drunk. I feel like that's just you coming out and what you really want to do. You know what I mean? But if you get drunk and you really that drunk or whatever, you're gonna be falling down. You ain't gonna have no faculties or whatever like that. But some people process that different. But I feel like sometimes it's just used as an excuse. But I mean, it sounds like he in love with her, and his traumas and stuff that she's talking about or whatever, he might have some of that. She might be right. Like, he still hasn't processed certain things or whatever, but it don't sound like she's processed hers. And I think that she uses that to kind of gaslight him, and to take the pressure off of her, because she know that her situation is not healed. And by her telling herself the story that is healed, she's never probably going to get better, because she thinks she's already better, and it's him that's the problem. So yeah, that's not cool. So that's kind of where we are for Divorce News Daily today. I hope you enjoyed some of these stories. This is all just so that we can hear what other people is going through. We can discuss it. We can talk about it a little bit, comment on it, tell me what you think, about any of the situations. Just come on here and give me some ideas of what you think, and we'll chop it up. But once again, it's your Big D. It's your boy, the Big D, for the Big D Show. This is the Divorce Daily News. Peace.
Eyes bright, skin popping, smelling right, luscious lips, dancing as you walk.